In this episode of the Funny Business Podcast, strap yourselves in because the emergency door is opening right up.
And on the flip side, one of us goes on an epic hot dog rant. And have you been a victim of the great Netflix password problem of 2023? Mike, hit the music. Get up, everybody. Get up, cocksuckers. Get up. It's another episode of the Funny Business Podcast. We're back. We're better than ever. We're ready to rock and roll. I just cracked open a beer. Mike just cracked open a beer that he had for the very first time and liked. Should have done a live taste test, but it's fine. We're back. Better than ever. We are recording on Memorial Day. So it's great vibes all around. The sun is shining. The ass is out. I'm just kidding. But we hope you're having a great day too. Happy Friday. It's very, very great day to have a good day, as it always is. I'm doing great. You all are too. Mike, how are you? How are things?
The dogs are out, sun's out, bun's out. It's time for another thrilling episode. And Matt, we are just about to get started with the energy here, aren't we?
We always are. It's just about the takeoff, as it always is.
Now, usually before each recording, we have a little banter.
Mm-hmm.
And before even the banter, we were texting each other back and forth because obviously with the holiday, it came, time off and all that stuff. So trying to figure out what time works. And, Matt chalked it up to be, we're going to completely record at a different time. And he's like, let's do 6. And that's usually the time we record. So I was like, so usual time? I was like, sure. And then he goes, do you want a game later? So then I threw back and I said, record at 5 then.
Mm-hmm.
And then he immediately, just simultaneously, he texts back, what's the topic for today?
Mm-hmm.
And I said, look at you trying to pry for more information.
Correct.
And
on
I
top
did.
of my shit today.
Oh, really?
I am.
You actually gave me the topics 48 hours in advance.
I think it was 48 hours.
I think it was 48.
Yes, it was.
You are on top of your shit.
Sure am.
So
in the middle of a crazy homestand.
So, Matt, you know what this topic is all about. This crazy story.
Ass.
No.
That's
that
the
was
wrong
a few links before
that was the
that.
other text message. Sorry. Forgot. Oops.
It was a few links before that. Anyway, so we've talked about flying on this episode a lot. We've talked about Matt's experiencing flying by himself.
Mm-hmm.
We've talked about my experiences only flying by myself.
Correct.
We've talked to
in your flight suit.
Yes, my DSG, my prime DSG flight suit.
That will never not be funny, by the way.
I actually have an add-on because in the past, when I would go to trips, conferences, I'd always leave Pennsylvania cold and go to someplace warm.
Mm-hmm.
So I only had sweatpants and a jacket. Now I have another primetime DSG apparel.
Nice.
Not sponsored, but hey, sponsor us because I know what you are now. And it could fit within the flavor of the outfit.
What?
So it's not black. I have black sweatpants and a black jacket.
Yeah.
This one's sort of like a gray and black, sort of like zebras, but not total heavy with the stripes.
Mm-hmm.
But it looks like a dirty texture, but it's gray, and I think it works.
Okay. Yeah. Is it only for flying?
No, it's actually I usually wear it for when I'm at the house.
Okay. That's fine.
Just kind of my shorts that I throw on when I'm home and taking off the khakis and throwing on the shorts. But
great stuff.
Oh, great stuff. Great stuff. Great stuff. Anyway, so flying. Matt, I've never really thought of what we're about to talk about today until I saw it on TikTok, and I'm terrified for my life now.
Yeah, no, I don't think I'll ever be able to step on a plane without thinking of the story ever again. So thank you.
You're welcome. So let's talk about what happened. This was reported by CNN. This is actually out in Korea, South Korea specifically. So a man in his 30s was flying this plane. He was landing in Daegu, South Korea on Asiana Airlines. Asia.
Asian Airlines?
Yeah, it's Asian Airlines, but I think they said it's a like Asian as it is, and A at the end, Airlines, whatever. So this man was flying. He had a little bit of a panic attack.
Mm-hmm.
Said that he felt suffocated and wanted to get off the plane quickly.
Mm-hmm.
And Matt, both us being novice flyers, we know that we can't make that decision. Only the pilot makes that decision.
Correct.
So this man decides that, well, I want to get off the plane earlier. So while they were still 700 feet above the ground and 2 to 3 minutes from landing, the man decides to open up the emergency door on the side of the plane while they were still up in the air. And no, he did not jump out. But just the sheer power of the wind that was coming from the emergency exit. Matt, did you see the video?
No, I will go look at the video right now.
The sheer power of the wind that was coming through the emergency door. I was terrified and fighting for my life as far as like, oh my goodness, is this ever going to happen to me? I hope not. But with it, they were able to land safely, which very happy about that. And, you know, thankful that everybody was okay. However, there were 12 people who suffered minor injuries due to hyperventilation, and 9 were sent to the hospitals in Daegu.
This is crazy.
Are you watching it right now?
No, I have an Amazon Prime ad. It's a crazy ad.
Gosh. We're all just going to wait here quietly and awkwardly.
We sure are. Okay. Asiana plane.
Asiana.
That's how we're going to go with. Okay. Oh, that wind is whipping. Oh, my. Wow. You know, everyone else is just sitting there so calmly. I would not be calm if some dude just opened the emergency exit in the middle of the plane. They're all just sitting there. What is that?
I feel like...
And the video's over.
So, Matt, talk to me through what did it look like, the wind? Like, talk to me, like, what is that comparable to?
It, like a roller coaster, I would say. But
Okay.
like, not as secure, right? That's kind of what my thought went to.
So, the aircraft that was involved was an Airbus 321, and it was flying from Jeju Island to Daegu. However, opening the door mid-flight is technically impossible, but it happened against the airstream. So it's technically impossible with all the pressure from, obviously, the atmosphere, the pressure. It's impossible to open.
Wait, did he not open the emergency exit?
He did. But they're saying that it's impossible to open. So this man must be a superhero.
Well, if it's impossible to open, how is it the emergency exit? Hold up, that's more concerning than the actual video. If that's supposed to be the emergency exit and it's impossible to open, then what happens if there's an emergency? You can't exit?
I would believe that. So if I may be incorrect here when I may speak this out, but
no, we're never incorrect on the podcast.
When you actually get the exit seat, doesn't one of the crewmates come up to you and say, you know, in the emergency, would you help me open this door?
That is law. You do, when you sit in the emergency exit seats, you have to acknowledge and agree to the fact that you have to help everybody else get off the plane first. And you have to like shake your head yes to confirm.
Yes.
Before the plane takes off.
So I think that applies to this scenario in the sense that, you know, I don't know, this man might have superpowers. It does say it happened against the airstream. So I think even just a little bit of an opening, it just swung out. But the man said that, you know, he was feeling suffocated. But the man was arrested and cited stress from recently losing his job as for the reason for his actions.
Okay. Glad he was arrested. You can't just open planes or open doors on a plane.
Just open
700
planes.
feet up in the air.
Yeah.
This is by far everyone's biggest fear when flying a plane, and it just happened out of nowhere.
So let me ask you this, Matt.
Yes.
When you are on the plane, do you
Yes.
ever feel, I don't want to say suffocated, that seems too negative of a word, but do you ever feel like you're in too close of quarters with everyone else that's on
Like
the plane?
claustrophobic?
Yeah, I see. That's still, I don't want to say claustrophobic, but do you feel cramped? I think that's a very woke word in the sense.
I don't know. I've always felt very comfortable on planes.
Yeah.
I've like being that close, even like flying like by yourself, and you can talk about it too. But like, I never felt like weird sitting next to a stranger, like not knowing like anyone on this plane. I never felt like I was scared on the plane. Never felt like I wasn't going to be able to breathe on the plane. That's for sure. I mean, you can see the air pumping in
Right
at times. Yeah, no, I don't. I mean, obviously this guy was going through some stuff. But never once crossed my mind like, oh my gosh, I can't do this.
Please help. Yeah, I mean, I've never felt, I will say claustrophobic now. I've never felt cramped in being on a plane. I think what's funny was the last time I was taking off from my last flight. I sat next to this really nice couple that actually offered me a bowl of Auntie Anne's pretzels that were next to me, and I'm like, oh no, I'm okay. But it was just like, it was nice. However, I've never felt afraid. I've never felt scared. But man, just the actions that people think they can take while being on a plane. Like, and we see all the videos on TikTok and storming through the internet. Like,
I want to shake your hand.
Right.
I want to shake your hand.
Like, and Matt's referring to a guy who, what was it? He was
Very
going face to
racist guy.
face.
Yeah.
A very racist guy. And then there's other people that like are just being downright annoying, especially during the pandemic. They were kicking a lot of people off the plane because they weren't wearing a mask, which I don't know, like just wear one, please.
So that's actually a funny story. It was April of last year. We were in Disney for April's 21st. The day before we flew home, they lifted the mask mandate on planes and in airports. It was, and I saw it like driving to the airport. I was on Twitter. I was like, wait, guys, we don't have to wear a mask. And we were kind of walking in like, should we still wear one? Like, shouldn't we? Like, are people going to yell at us? And it was very weird because nowadays, it was either everybody had a mask on, or now it's today where like barely anyone does. I still see a few people, and whatever, that makes you feel safer, go for it. That was the first time where it was like 50-50. People weren't wearing masks, or they were, but no one was like yelling at each other. There weren't any confrontations of, oh my gosh, put a mask on. It was just very weird of like, you're sitting there, like April and I didn't have ours on, but then like right across, there was like 5 people in a row. And then next to them was like 3 people not wearing it. And then 2 people next to them wearing it. It was honestly weird. Like, obviously like the first like week and a half, 2 weeks of COVID wearing it was weird, like going out. Other than that, we got used to it. That was weirder than the first time wearing it. It's just because no one knew if they should, if they shouldn't. And they were making announcements like, you can wear it if you want, you don't have to. And everyone's kind of looking around like, do I take it off? Do I wear it? Like, what do I do? That was very weird. That was freaky.
Even with the decision, I mean, regardless of your decision, there's no love or hate if you wear a mask or not. Like around this time, back during the pandemic, like that was, you had to, like there was, you had to wear a mask. But like some people, I think, are realizing now the benefits of wearing it, which then results to them in wearing it all the time.
Yep.
Like even to this day at work, I still see people wearing a mask, which like totally fine, never dissing them. But I do feel that in the sense of like sitting down and like, do you wear a mask or not? And I think my parents ran into the same scenario too, where I think they were just boarding a flight and they found out that the mask mandate's no longer required. So
It's freaky. Very freaky.
but
I have a question.
yeah, hit me.
Should this guy ever be allowed to fly again?
That's a great question.
Thank you.
I look at you actually being prepared now. I think that he needs to be grounded for a certain amount of time.
Grounded?
Yeah. Well, that's what they call it.
No television for a week.
No television. Like that is
No, I
actually
know.
a technical
Yes.
term. Okay,
Yes.
jackass. I think he needs to be grounded for a certain amount of time. I don't think he's banned for life.
I disagree.
Okay.
Now, I understand he was going through some things. Maybe that'll change his mind. What if he has PTSD from flying again? Like, yes, he's going through something. What if the next time he gets on a plane, the same thing happens? I don't know. I don't know if he should ever be allowed to fly again. And maybe I don't know if he has to do some. I don't know if there's like training for this or like how do you get back in that mindset? Because if this happens to anyone on a plane or a roller coaster, like you get back on, you have those same thoughts, like the same. You're gonna have memories of what happened. I don't know if it's safe for him to get on a plane ever again.
I agree. Okay. Not that I have changed my mind with my decision, but I could agree with you that there could be a sense that there could be some type of post-traumatic stress involving the plane, because you don't do that when you don't make those rash decisions while being on a plane, like, and I think you're right. Like, yeah, he cited that he was stressed because of losing a job. But at the same time, like, why are you on a plane then?
Mm-hmm.
Like, why are you on a plane if you lost your job?
Mm-hmm.
You don't have an income anymore, unless you're doing drug dealing or whatnot or something.
Correct. OnlyFans.
Like, OnlyFans? Only planes? Okay, that fell.
That was
that fell.
Yeah, that was bad. That was bad.
That was
Moving
horrible.
on. Yep, moving on.
But yeah, I mean, there needs to be some type of, like, you can't just get away, like just jail time. Like, oh, like you have 3 months in prison. Like, I think there needs to be an extra precaution taken into consideration, whether that is banning for life or some type of duration in which he cannot go on a plane.
A duration and like counseling that like he needs to go through to help him get back to a mentality that he's safe to fly and safe for other people to fly.
Right. And again, I don't know how they can facilitate / document that. Like if the federal government, like if the state or federal, whoever, is gonna be like, okay, you need to go to 3 sessions of therapy, and the therapist is gonna evaluate you.
Yeah, I don't know if there's state government in South Korea.
I don't know. Besides the masking, have you ever experienced like weird behavior on a plane?
I think everybody's experienced, like, they announced they're going to start boarding in 5 minutes and everybody gets out of their seat and crowds the gate. Yeah. Don't be that asshole. I slide my microphone as I'm an asshole. Just sit down. When they call you, like, you're at the gate, they're going to start boarding in 5 minutes. You're not missing that flight.
Right.
Guaranteed you're not missing that flight. It's not going to happen. Excuse me. You're going to be fine. Don't crowd the gate. The extra 45 seconds it gets you in line because you crowded the gate does not matter. Your seat is still the same. Your bag will make it on the plane. Calm down. Don't crowd the gate. Don't be that person. Other than that, you know what else kind of grinds my gears when you fly?
What?
The people that try to bring like 2 carry-ons on without paying for it.
Yeah.
Once pay for it, but also have the right size and don't try to bring like a huge bag as a carry-on, because that's gonna piss me. That honestly, for people that get scared of like, oh, my carry-on's not going to fit up top, I have that thought once in a while.
Yeah,
I do.
Same.
I do. And even the first time I flew alone to go visit April in Florida, like I think I paid for priority access just because I was like, well, what if my bag doesn't get on? And I was on the plane. I was like, oh, plenty of room. But then like the third time I went down to see her, people just started shoving their bag that's supposed to be under their seat up top. And they're like, no, that can't be on there. Like, just be smart. It's going to be okay. Your stuff will make it with you.
I have only flown with a overhead and a personal item. Like that's the only thing that I've flown with in my time.
Honestly, it's not hard to fly with that little stuff.
Right. Well, especially when you're only going for like 4 days.
Correct.
But no, I feel like I got the gear that I need to actually go for a flight for a couple days with maybe like five days worth of clothes. But yeah, I'm just
You've never flown with anyone else, has you?
No, I've flown
Only
by
yourself
all the time.
Interesting. It's a different dynamic for sure.
I will give a shout out to Mark DePippa, who is one of my former coworkers, not from the funny business, actually work. I remember how terrified I was for flying for the first time because I've never flown for a trip. It was always I drove. And, when I always said that, I was like, but I've been to Florida before. They're like, wait, you've been to Florida before and you haven't flown? And I'm like, yeah, like it was a senior high school trip. We all took coach buses and we all drove down 24 hours, like an overnight thing. It was amazing. However, Mark showed me, gave me everything I needed to know. Like going through security, getting my bag together, finding the gate, what happens at the gate. And I see it on TikTok so much often now where it's like, oh, like when you are at an airport and you go check the gate just to make sure it exists before you actually go for snacks.
Correct. Yep. Honestly, the most terrifying thing is TSA. It terrifies me every time.
And you know what? Like I've found that more easier. Like I found that easier now that I've been through it twice. And I've actually learned an additional thing to do is put your phone and wallet in your personal bag. Because then you're trying, like, you also have your belt, which you're trying to get, like, that way you can pick up your stuff. Like, you're not putting them in the what do you call it? The bin. You're putting them in your personal bag because yes, it is smaller than a phone, but yet that's not worth the laying out. Like, and then you just pick everything up. Everything is with you. You don't have little odds and ends like keys or your wallet or your phone. Like everything's in your personal, and then you can bring everything together.
That's a good life. That's a good flying hack. It's a great tip. Great tip.
Somebody from TSA was saying it out loud when we were loading stuff in. They're like, put your phone and wallet in your personal items so that way you know you have it. You're not trying to grab it out of the bin. Like,
see, that's funny because I used to have my iPad in my personal item, and they told me to take it out.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it depends. Like, and that was what Mark told me. He's like, usually it's pretty consistent, but sometimes TSA may tell you something differently.
There might be a person there that has their own rules. The only other weird thing I can think of is one time I went to fly again to visit April in Florida. And like 2 days before I was supposed to fly, guy tried to bring an explosive through the airport that I was at. That was wild. And they shut down the airport for like 5 hours. And I was like, no.
Were you in the air by that time? Probably.
It was 2 days before.
Oh, it was 2 days before.
Yeah. I had plenty of time. The other thing that does freak me out is if there's like rain, if my flight's going to get like, I automatically think if there's rain in the forecast, my flight's getting canceled every single time. Every time this happens.
We had to wait when I was coming from Orlando back in 2020 before the rise of the pandemic.
Stop it.
I had, I think it was like an hour delay before takeoff. And like it was raining, and I was landing from Orlando to Philly, and it was raining in Philly. And like the weather was just enough where like we were able to operate the plane. I say we, like I'm the one who's operating it. And I got a window seat that time.
Mm-hmm.
Just the sheer talent of a pilot of a plane to land in such conditions safely.
Yeah. It's freaking awesome.
Freaking awesome.
It's badass, honestly.
I also found out too that you need, thanks Jenna, you also need perfect vision in order for you to fly.
That makes sense. If your contact gets a little fuzzy, that's an issue. I also forgot this part. I don't know if I ever told you this. So 2 days before the guy bought the fire explosive, the day before, my buddy was taking the same flight I was.
Yeah.
It was Allegiant from Allentown to the same airport I was going on, probably the same plane, got canceled because of plane issues.
Oh, no.
And he literally did not go on his trip because they couldn't find another flight.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, I think they were going to Universal, and he posted, they were at the airport, at the gate. They took a photo at the gate because a gate is themed to my work. And he was like, can't wait. And then like 2 hours later, like trip canceled. And I messaged him on Instagram. I'm like, what are you talking about? Your trip's canceled. He's like, there's a plane issue. I'm like, no. Like, what flight did you have? And I was like, oh my God, that's the same plane. So then I show up the next day. It's like, plane's on time. I'm like, is this safe to get on? Mom, can you come pick me up? Can you drive me to Florida? I'm scared. Luckily, I landed with no issues. And then it's all coming back to me now. The last plane ride I ever took, when I went down and we were able back to Pennsylvania, the bathroom was not working.
Oh,
yeah.
At least it's a 2-hour flight.
That was tough. It was weird. They said you couldn't take the bathroom until you got up in the air. That made no sense. Still doesn't make sense. Is there just like shit flying out of the plane?
Might be shit on a plane. Not
funny.
Snakes on a plane.
No.
Shit on a plane.
Shit on a plane. Just toilet paper flying through the air. Oh, man.
But, yeah, thank goodness for everybody. Glad everybody's safe, at least in good non-critical condition.
Mm-hmm.
Glad that they apprehended the suspect and individual, and hopefully everybody can get back on that next flight. It's like falling on a bike. Like, you can always get back on and ride again, right, Matt?
No. Not for me.
Matt doesn't know how to ride a bike, so
thank you for that. I've already explained it on the podcast multiple times.
You never know who's new and listening to us. All you fabulous people who haven't hit that follow button
I
yet,
thought you were just
wondering.
I thought you were just about to call me a fat ass.
No, I was not.
I legit. I was like, oh my God, he just called me a fat ass. And he said fabulous. I was like, whoa.
Why I would do that? Yeah, but you haven't hit that follow button yet. Make sure you do. We're halfway through. As it is, I mean, everybody knows who's a weekly or definitely returning listener knows we're about to switch on to Matt's side of the podcast, but make sure you hit that follow button.
Ish. Moving on. Let us get into the rest of the episode and some would you rathers. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, count them, 7.
Lucky 7.
Would you rathers. Lucky number 7. Let's dive into it. Mike, would you rather spend your day off lazy and relaxed or productive and adventurous? So let me preface this when saying day off. Let's say, I don't know, you're at work for a long period of time. Let's just say
6 months.
Let's see. No, let's dial it down a little bit. Okay. 1, 2. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's say 7 weeks of work. Okay, so that's Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. Let's throw in some weekends. Let's say in those 7 weeks of work, you have 2 days off total in those 7 weeks of work. Would you want to be lazy and productive on those days off, or sorry, lazy and relaxed, or productive and what was the other word? Adventurous.
See, I think it's tough because the way that I think to myself is if I have a day off, and a little hint as far as what's coming up in some of the episodes, there is damn well guarantee that you are behind on shit at home.
Oh yeah.
Like it's like even for Memorial Day, like day off, but hey, guess what? I was able to do some of my chores. But like deep down inside, like you want to be lazy and lazy and not productive. But I feel like I might have to default and say that I have to be adventurous and productive, because I know if I have a day off, I know shit has been behind since the amount of time I've worked.
Mm-hmm. It's tough. I mean, flat out from now, Memorial Day to Friday, July 7th, I literally have 2 days off. And it's very tough because, you want to be lazy and relaxed.
Right.
You want to just chill all day.
I think you could achieve both, though.
I think then that's the key. I think you can. So when I say productive and adventurous, you don't have to like go on a 3-mile hike.
Yeah.
You don't have to like
who wants to do that?
drive the Vermont and back. You can be productive. You can be a little adventurous. Go on a walk. Clean up the house a little bit. But sleep in first. Sleep in until like 10. Get up, make your coffee, eat a lunch, clean up the house a little bit. Go do something outside. It's the summertime. Come back, watch some TV, make an easy dinner, watch a movie, play some video games, relax.
Heck
I think there's
man.
a good balance between both. You just gotta, but also don't go into that day off with like a schedule. I want to do this. See what happens. If you're not in a great mood, be more lazy. If you're in a good mood and you got a lot of energy, you want to get stuff done, be more productive. I think you really have to take those days off and just go with the flow.
Right.
See what happens. Speaking of coffee, Mike, we may have done this one before. This is the first one I think we may have done.
Coffee.
Would you rather only drink black coffee for the rest of your life or never drink coffee again?
Black coffee.
I'm never drinking coffee again.
Wow.
Yeah. Yes. And
holy
that's
shit.
A big statement for me to say, but
breaking news, everybody.
Mm-hmm. Black coffee is disgusting.
Fun fact, I used to, and I think I've shared this, I've had black cold brew originally. So like I would steep the coffee and put it overnight. I wouldn't put cream in it. Just be
Sugar?
straight black. Nope. Just straight black cold brew.
You're a better man than I.
Apparently it's healthier.
It is. They say they say coffee is very healthy. The minute you put cream or sugar in it, it makes you like completely unhealthy. They do say that.
Yep.
But I can I'll just drink like Celsius
or water.
No. No. Yeah, I'll be an energy drink guy.
Oh, don't do that. That's worse.
No, I'm not talking like Monster, but like
okay.
Celsius is like kind of not as bad. Have you ever heard of Celsius?
I haven't had it yet.
They don't taste that bad. They're a little healthier for you, from my understanding, and they taste good. A lot of people at work drink them.
Prime Energy.
I will never be touching Prime Energy. Never. For obvious reasons. For those long listeners of the Funny Business podcast, they know why. Mike, today, as a recording, Memorial Day, it's a big grilling day, big cookout day. Would you rather give up hot dogs or hamburgers for the rest of your life?
Why do you do this to me?
Yeah. This is a tough one.
Oh, this it's such a tough one.
This might be one of the hardest ones we've ever done.
Oh my god.
I still don't know what my answer is. I'm trying to decide between the two. We're
My
actually
gut-
having hot dogs for dinner tonight.
My gut went one way, and I'm sticking with it. I got to give up hot dogs. And I know that's so bad. Because let me tell you, hot dogs, especially at Wawa, are amazing.
I just found out. Did we talk about this before?
I've only talked about it because my good friend and soon to be whatever, I don't know the relationship because he's getting married to Jenna's sister. Probably just still friend at the moment.
Yeah.
Him and I had a moment when we were going on vacation. We needed something to eat. We both got a Wawa hot dog. And we thought it was the most delicious damn thing in our whole life. All right. Like it's.
I may have made fun of you for that, but I had a Wawa hot dog twice since then. They're fire.
Right.
They're phenomenal. So good.
So my theory behind the hot dog is that there is more opportunities to have a burger than there is to have a hot dog. The only time you get a hot dog is if grilling happens or you're at a ballpark. Yeah, those are literally the only two places I can think of. You can get a burger at a restaurant. You can get a burger on the grill. You can get a burger on a fast food place. Like, that's the only time, like, that many scenarios you can get a hamburger, but a hot dog is very limited.
You're so young. You're so naive. Now, I may have more attraction to this, but I'm going to give up hamburgers for one reason. And this is a reason that you might learn later this summer. When we go golfing, nothing gets you more excited for the back nine than a dog at the turn. A dog at the turn, good old grease missile. You paid, it got to be $2, if not less, for a hot dog at the turn. It doesn't matter if it's a shitty dog or if it's a really good dog. A dog at the turn just gets you amped up for the back nine. You know what? You could be shooting a 55 on the front. You eat that hot dog before that 10th hole, you're ready to go. You're pumped. You're about to hit a piss missile, 250 down the middle of the fairway. Nothing gets you amped up like a dog at the turn. Nothing. Nothing can replace a hot dog at the turn. I can't. If you give me a hamburger at the turn, no, it's not the same. It's just not. And there's no way for you to understand that until we go golfing and you get a hot dog at the turn.
Sorry. You just got really heated.
That's because a hot dog at the turn is the greatest. It's one of the, it's like a top 2 things about golfing is a hot dog at the turn. It doesn't matter if you have a 7 a.m. tee time and it's 9 a.m. in the morning. Huh?
What's number 1 or number 2? Having a beer?
The first beer you crack open.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. It doesn't matter if you have a 7 a.m. tee time, which this Saturday, I do have a 7 a.m. tee time. If it's 9 a.m. and you're headed to the 10th hole, give me a dog. Wrap it up. Let's go. Get that grease missile in you.
That was fabulous.
Yeah, that's my highlight for the week. Mike, would you rather always wear wet socks or wet underwear?
Ooh.
Both suck.
Wet socks.
Why?
I feel like wet underwear could cause a lot of problems.
I think the opposite. I'm pretty sure if you wear wet socks long enough, you can get sick. I did not confirm that, but that is true. I'm fairly positive if your feet are wet for that long, you can get the pool. No, what I said is correct. Wet underwear, because wet socks is just like a top 3 worst thing of all time.
What's the other 2?
Stubbing your toe.
Okay. What if I'm calling you out of this shit?
Let's see. Wet socks, stubbing your toe, and help me out here.
Calluses. Foot calluses.
That's the most random thing you could have said. Calluses?
I was thinking about feet. Like feet. Like a foot callus.
It doesn't have to be foot related.
Oh, I thought that's what you were going with.
No, it just happens to be wet socks and subbing your toe are the same.
Oh.
He just go calluses.
I was thinking it was all feet related. All right.
Yeah, regardless, I'll go wet underwear.
Okay.
I feel like it's easier to dry your junk than it is to dry your feet.
So wait a minute. I thought this meant like continuous wet underwear or continuous wet socks.
Well, when you take off your underwear, you get to dry yourself.
Oh,
You
I
can-
thought
you can
you
go
were
a period
crazy.
of time
I
without
thought your
wearing
crazy
socks
scenarios. I thought your crazy scenarios are always like, oh, like this is indefinite.
No, just every time you wear underwear, it's wet, or every time you wear socks, it's wet.
Yes, and then I can just take off socks because it's summertime.
Okay. Just don't wear underwear.
Okay.
Not wearing underwear right now.
Are you?
I'm not.
Let's see it. No, I'm kidding. Please don't. No, no, nope, 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 nope. I don't need to blur that large of the screen, all right?
No. Let's see. Last week, was this last week we did the ice cream?
Oh, God. No, 2 weeks ago we did.
2 weeks ago we did ice cream.
We did follow up with it the last week.
Yeah, well, we're going to kind of follow up again.
Follow up again. Never ending saga.
Mike, would you rather only be able to eat your least favorite kind of ice cream or your least favorite kind of cookie?
See, that's the thing. I really don't have. I don't have a flavor of ice cream I don't like. Like, there's some I can eat, and then there's some I enjoy. But like
You've never had a flavor ice cream that you didn't like.
I don't think so.
But is there one you avoid that you don't try?
Not really. Which is resulting me into having a cookie because.
What's your least favorite kind of cookie?
Like an oatmeal cookie, like an oatmeal raisin, because I always think they're the devil's counterpart because you always want a chocolate chip cookie and you don't pay close attention enough, and it's a oatmeal raisin cookie.
Oatmeal raisin's phenomenal.
Yeah, but it always is very deceiving when you pick it up and you think it's a chocolate chip cookie and then you bite into it and be like, what the hell is this?
Shout out my Aunt Lisa. Makes an oatmeal cookie with cinnamon chips.
Okay.
Those are fire. I am also gonna go cookie. Lemon cookies are gross. No, hold on. I lied. Going least favorite kind of ice cream, which would probably be strawberry by itself.
Okay.
Because I would rather eat strawberry ice cream than a lemon cookie.
Okay.
Lemon cookies are freaking gross and disgusting.
I'm trying to think if I ever had a lemon cookie. I feel like
Have you ever had crumble?
A lemon. What?
Just have you had crumble cookies yet?
Oh no, I have that. The brand crumble. I'm like, what is that cookie?
There's one close to us that we keep checking. We're gonna try it at one point. I just don't know. It can't be that good.
I have yet to try duck donuts. That's another thing.
I would like to try Duck Donuts. Insomnia cookies. Absolutely fire.
We've had those.
Those are fire.
It was such an experience.
Those choker cookies.
2 a.m. coming back from the bar. Jen and I sit at the front of the porch of a friend's house because their friend's not home from an Uber. Just doing like a live review on Instagram stories.
Yeah.
Do you
I
remember
definitely told
that?
I told my story before coming back from the Phillies game in the middle of Philadelphia. Dropped April off to lap around Center City, Philadelphia for her to be inside a cookie by herself. Terrifying. Two more. Mike, as of tonight, Memorial Day. Big game. Big game tonight.
Game 7.
Game 7. Heat versus Celtics. Heat were up 3-0. They are on the verge of, if they lose, the first team ever in NBA history to blow a 3-0 lead. Mike, let's right now you're the Celtics.
Okay.
That doesn't really matter. Would you rather get swept 4-0 or lose a series 3-0?
Sorry, as the team, like would
As
I
the team,
rather
as a player, would I rather
be beaten? Would I rather be swept?
Yep, you don't win
Or
a single
as the
game
team, or as the team be beaten while
after you've been up 3-0.
Probably we've been up 3-0.
Really?
Yeah, because you can't close. Right? Did I understand that correctly?
No.
Okay.
Would you rather be the team that does not win a game or the team that wins the first 3 and then loses the next 4?
Oh. Yeah, I'd rather be No. Well, I'd rather be swept. You are confusing me. I'd rather be swept.
It's not hard. Yes, you'd rather be swept. Yes. So, for correction, you don't want to be the Heat if they lose tonight.
Yeah, because God forbid you couldn't finish. You couldn't finish the game.
Correct.
Imagine
not finishing?
Yeah, like doesn't happen to me. Like
no.
Anyway, like you couldn't close out when you literally were 1 win away. And now you're prolonging this shit. Like there's a photo of Jimmy Butler who, like, I think he's doing a timeout. Yeah. And somebody said, if the Celtics win, this will be the most embarrassing photo that Jimmy Butler has ever been had taken of him. And just a casual reminder that the Celtics came back 3-0.
Mm-hmm. It's also just not fair that the city of Boston always gets these comebacks. They had the Red Sox 3-0 against the Yankees. They had the Patriots 28-3 in the Super Bowl, and now the Celtics 3-0. That's just not fair. Luckily, the Bruins can come back from 3-1. I mean, could you imagine being the guy that lost $2,000 on the Bruins to lose a series? Couldn't be me.
Nope. Can't be me.
Nope. I'd rather get swept. Everyone's gotten swept, I think, in their career. LeBron finally got swept. Did he? Yeah, he got swept by the Nuggets. Also, do you think he's going to retire?
No. He'd rather have like Kobe did a rest in peace. He did a really good job in saying, like, this is my final season.
Yeah. No, LeBron is absolutely having a retirement tour.
Right.
100%.
And just padding the stats enough where, like, he's going to be number 1 for a very, very long time.
I mean, he definitely is going to play till he gets 40,000 points.
Yeah. Like, I'd much rather. It's kind of like Jeter, too. Like, hey, I'm retiring. And, like, Jeter had this really nice whole season where, like, the teams were, the opposing teams were giving him gifts and all, like.
Yeah. I mean, Jeter just did that to help the Yankees. He didn't really want the gifts. LeBron wants the gifts.
Right.
LeBron wants the glamour. Let's not compare Derek Jeter to LeBron James. Let's not do that.
But yeah, I would think that he would have a retirement tour.
100%. It might go on for 2 years.
And I feel like that'd be fair to the fans too. Like,
sure.
Because let's just say they didn't do well that season because they were too focused on LeBron's retirement. Like, that there's nothing to be sad about trying to not win, you know? Like, I think Kobe in his retirement season, they did not make the playoffs. They sucked.
They were buns.
But yet, Kobe still has retirement season. Kobe still had probably one of the best last games ever for any basketball player whatsoever. And yeah, I just think that is the case.
So let me ask you this: Wouldn't you have more respect for LeBron if he's called it quits right now? Said, you know what? I don't need the claim. I don't need the fame. I don't need the glamour.
I would respect him more. I'd respect him more if he just called it then instead of hinting at it.
Correct. Like, well, he did say he's considering retirement right now, which there is a negative % chance he retires right now.
Considering instead of I'm retiring. Like, just calling it like it is, black and white.
I think he's more so just mad he got swept.
Yeah. Because
One
watch, he'll
more.
come back. He'll come back. It'll play the next 3 seasons.
Correct. He's probably going to say, I'm going to retire after I play 2 years with Bronny.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. All right, last one. Mike, this is a big time summer question.
Big time rush.
Would you rather never have allergies again or never get sunburn ever again?
Sunburn.
Oh, disagree.
I'd rather be a sneeze machine than anything.
Get rid of my allergies and I am outside all day long. It's called sunscreen and aloe vera.
Yeah, but like you wouldn't have to put that on if you didn't get sunburn. Weren't able to get sunburn.
Yeah, but like sunburn's going to turn into a great tan.
But sunburn, like you could still get tan if I'm understanding that scenario correctly.
Yeah, you can.
Okay.
Yeah. But like just if you're not a bitch, just get through the sunburn and it turns into a tan.
I don't have too many allergies, so that's probably why I decided to do not sunburn.
My allergies have been nonstop the past week.
I
had to sneeze for a solid 2 days and I couldn't sneeze. I kept losing it 6 times. It felt like I'm like, oh my God, here it comes. Lost it. I finally sneezed on like Saturday. It felt like a ghost left my body.
Jenna has given up on telling me bless you when I sneeze because I usually do in a set of 5. So every time I sneeze once, and it's the only time I'll sneeze, I'll never get a bless you because she's always expecting the next one.
Correct. Oh man. All right. Well, that was Would You Rather. Let's end the show with a little Say What. Mike, you can go first.
Oh, lovely. All right. I got 2. My first one, Matt was very keen on it. Final Cut Pro, which is the software that I use to help make this beautiful podcast come to life.
Yep.
Recently went through a 10.6.6 update. It screwed up.
As we all know.
Oh, yeah, as everybody knows. Totally screwed up all my presets that has made the podcast work and has made the efficiency go up 250%. I'm just throwing out a random number. To the point where I texted Matt the one night, I think it was the weekend. I said, look, listen, we're not going to be able to get highlights out this week because Final Cut Pro went through an update, lost all my presets. I said, I don't have the time to put through it. Then comes before we recorded the podcast, and I found out that I had enough time to sit there and tweak and kind of basically restart all the presets.
Yeah.
Come to find out, we now had our highlights out this week with no problem whatsoever. The only difference was it was Tuesday, Thursday. Besides the point, it was good that we took Memorial Day to a day to honor instead of us talking stupid shit about espresso martinis and $10,000 used contacts for seeing the Eras tour. Yep. But I just wish it was more of a team effort when it came to any update, really. Like, there was one other software that I was looking at that I was thinking, okay, maybe I'll buy the lifetime subscription. And I was about to buy the lifetime subscription, and they changed their subscriptions to now only doing a monthly or a yearly, which totally like annoyed the hell out of me because it was like I was gonna buy it and I was gonna move forward with it, but it just seems like there's no community aspect, which could simply be a way where, and I know this sounds a little bit of an undertaking, but like apps could have their own social media presence and like they could say like, hey, like we're coming out with a 10.6.6 update. So here's the things that might be affected. This, that, and the other. And like, unless you read the update notes, that's the only time you know that it's going to happen with an update. But yeah, it totally messed me up. But luckily, we're back. It's Britney, bitch. I know I switched it up, but
yep,
we're back.
I think I've said this before. Every company should just have like 2 or 3 just regular people employed by the company, PR firm, whatever, and say, hey, we're going to do this. Is this a good idea? Those 2 or 3 people, you don't have to pay them a lot of money. Like for a Twitter update, or like if there's like a PR issue for a company and you want to release a statement, just have 2 or 3 people, run it by them, and just see what the average person thinks. It's really not, especially for updates with like apps or like devices, things like that. They're so out of touch with the common person sometimes that they just don't know what to do or how to fix it or how to make it better. Just a thought. Just try it out.
It's called a community manager. That's actually a real position.
I would like that position.
Yeah.
What company would you like the most to have that position?
Oh,
I know who you're going to say.
Spot.
I know who you're going to say.
Samsung. No, I'm just kidding. Of course I'm going to go with Apple. Are you kidding me?
I don't know what company I would pick. That's a tough one. I feel like Twitter's too easy of an answer.
No, you don't want to go there.
No.
Right now, at least. Golf? No.
Nike, maybe?
No.
Nah, I feel like Nike. I feel like Nike would be a good one. I don't really know what Nike would need me to do. I just like Nike products.
Yeah.
My first one. Mike, we are in the middle of an era.
The tour.
The tour, correct.
The Eras tour.
I see is so close. I can't believe I haven't seen her.
I can almost taste it.
However, would I love to see Taylor Swift in concert? Absolutely. However, the constant singing and singing by every person in the stands would piss me off.
Really?
Yes. I don't know. If you're at the concert and you're all the way in the back, I'm sure you can hear her. I want to hear her sing. I don't want to hear every single person in the stadium sing.
Did Chris get in your ear?
No,
Really?
Literally no one. I literally had this thought 2 days ago because everyone's like, oh my gosh, like it's been so awesome. And I've been seeing people that we've gone to college with and I've gone to high school with post videos. You can't hear her because everyone's just screaming. And it's that wouldn't, I hope I get to see her in concert one day. I hope I can actually like enjoy the concert and not be like, the person behind me just sounds awful the whole time. Because people sing every single song and I don't know. I don't know if I would enjoy that part of it.
That's a good point.
Thank you.
I mean, I think, again, it just shows the impact as much as how likable Taylor Swift is.
Mm-hmm.
But I think you're right. There needs to be some sort, like, you're there to see them perform. And I think, again, it goes to the point of, like, FaceTime. Like, if somebody can't hear you, the point of view is not to start yelling because you can't hear the person on the other side. It's that, they need either better internet, they need to move to better service. But I think you're right, Matt. Like, definitely screaming the words. It's not like Taylor's going to hear you. It's not like Taylor's going to be like, oh my goodness, this person needs to be a backup singer for my next new album that I never know will release. Like, there needs to be, I don't know. It's a cult culture at times. Like, hand up.
I did buy a Taylor Swift t-shirt.
Right. Like,
it says, all you're ever going to be is mean and a liar and pathetic. And then underneath it says Scooter Braun, Kanye, Kim Kardashian, all Taylor's ex-boyfriends.
That's funny. Wait, did Dave Portnoy have that?
Yeah, he wore that to the concert. Yes. Yes. I bought it. It's totally worth it.
But yeah, like, I get you, man. You'd much rather hear somebody perform live.
Correct. Like when I went to see Dan and Shay, it was nice because like it's kind of back further. People were like kind of like respectful and let them sing, and that's what when I want to go to a concert, I want to hear them perform, not everybody else.
My final one, Netflix.
Oh,
yeah. Have you heard about this yet?
No.
Oh, good luck with this. This is reported by the New York Times. So the great Netflix password crackdown has begun.
Oh, I did hear this was going to happen.
So the streaming giant sent out an email on Tuesday to U.S. members sharing their account with people living outside their household that it would begin kicking people off the service if they were using someone else's account for more than 30 days at a different location. Are you kidding me? What's the point? It's a money thing. Like,
absolutely. Yep.
It's, you follow the money. It's a money thing.
Yep.
But let's talk about customer loyalty and customer engagement. Knowing that you have multiple families that are watching, you then have multiple families that are promoting how good shows are. You have multiple families that are promoting how awesome it is that the next season of Outer Banks is coming out. You have
still haven't finished it, by the way.
It just goes to show that they don't care. Like, I don't know if Netflix is not doing well financially to the point where they're trying to do this. I don't think they're having a problem considering the amount of money they're investing in their own Netflix original shows.
I've heard they're kind of losing a little bit of money, but it can't be enough that they're in trouble of going under.
Every business loses money.
Right. Yes.
That's
also a fact.
You always have some type of credit line for that. But you're going to lose more money by somebody being like, oh, well, we all kind of have a Netflix account because we're splitting the money. If there's, what is it, a total of 4 people that you can have on a Netflix account?
I think so. So
I don't know. And it's, go ahead.
That's my question. So like, I'm on a family plan with my parents.
So you're on a family plan.
I think so.
So, and again, I think anybody who's using a personal plan that's what
it is.
Right.
Okay.
But like, I don't know. I'm like, am I able to watch Netflix? Yes. Is it mine? Maybe not.
Interesting.
You don't know. Netflix, you call me out, I'm going to call your shit.
How about this? I'll throw this at the Netflix. If you sponsor us, I will personally buy my own account and Mike will buy his own account.
I was like, my name?
Yes, I was hoping you were gonna say it yourself, so I had to say it for you.
I was like, waiting. But yeah, it just, they want more money. They'll probably end up losing more money.
Yeah, absolutely.
In this scenario.
Yep.
So, I don't know. I just hope they come back and be like, we messed up. We're sorry. Because let me tell you, if they need more money to actually hit a live premiere of the Love is Blind reunion, like, yeah, that's fine. Explain it that you need more money for that. But if you're going to have people buy more accounts, you better deliver on more things.
That is correct. And my last one is equally as serious and equally as important.
Really?
Yes, it's so serious. I'm laughing. Pickles should not automatically be put on chicken sandwiches, people. They just shouldn't. Like, when I go to Chick-fil-A, I shouldn't have to ask for pickles to get taken off, because half the time they don't take the pickles off. If I want pickles, I should have to ask for you to put pickles on the sandwich.
I'll let you have the floor.
No, that's it.
Oh,
that's all I got.
I love pickles, man.
That's great, but like, what? Half the time I ask for them to take the pickles off because I'm not a pickle guy, and they don't take the pickles off. And then it's not, yes, I can take the pickles off the sandwich, but then the pickle juice is in the bun, it's in the chicken, and I can still taste the pickle.
Yeah.
You don't always have to give them the pickle.
You're like the opposite of what's his face, Flounder and SpongeBob.
No
pickles.
Yes, it's gross.
Dude, I love pickles. I was eating a bunch of them this past weekend.
Gross.
Oh, dude, I love pickles. Jenna knows I love pickles.
You know what I recently started to enjoy? This is a weird combination, but hear me out, because April got me onto it.
Okay.
Because it's kind of similar to pickles as red beets.
All right.
Red beets and mac and cheese. Not like mixed together, but like take a bite of mac and cheese and then get a red beet. Trust me. Trust me.
I'll have to consider that.
Try it. It's kind of life changing.
I'll have to consider that.
Yeah.
Huh.
It's kind of
Alright.
life changing.
Well, on that beat, that concludes another episode of the Funny Business Podcast. Make sure you follow all of our social media at solo.to/funnybusiness. Mr. Matthew,
Yes.
what is your advice for the good people, the good coworkers of the funny business world?
Oh, excuse me. That was a deep one. My advice, it is summertime. Get outside. Touch grass. Enjoy the sun. Just get some fresh air. Go for a walk. Mike and I will be golfing at some point this summer whenever I get a day off.
Might have to hit the driving range a little bit.
Yeah, I've also been out literally 9 holes this year so far. I'm doing 18 on Saturday this week. It's gonna be rough.
Who are you going with?
April and some coworkers.
Nice.
So technically coworkers.
Okay.
Yeah. So just get outside, do something. Even if you're not a huge activity person, you don't like to sweat, just go for a walk. Find a trail.
Right.
Go for a walk around your block. Take the dog for a walk. If you got a kid, put him in the stroller. Put some sunscreen on. Go to the beach. Ride a bike if you know how to do that. Not everybody does. Go play some badminton. April and I went outside today. We went to hit some badminton. Hit the shuttlecock around, and it was very windy, and we just couldn't hit the shuttlecock to each other.
We actually gardened this past weekend for my mama.
I love a good garden.
I bet you have one out in your backyard.
Well, my mom does at my parents' house. We do not have any plants on the patio.
Gotcha.
No.
I know.
Just get outside, touch grass,
Get
some fresh
outside,
air.
touch grass, get some fresh air. I am wearing my Ron Burgundy shirt, so I will say this one thing before I actually officially sign off. So you stay classy, funny business. And until the next time, we'll see you all in the next episode.
Stay safe, everyone.